Mike Pence is taking some pot shots at Trump. He's subtweeting him. He's barely masking it. Let's take a look here. Throw up the tweet. Mike Pence says, elections are about the future. My fellow Republicans, we can only win if we are united around an optimistic vision for the future based on our highest values. We cannot win by fighting yesterday's battles or by relitigating the past. That is a clear hint that he's talking about January 6th and the rigged election claims. He says Republicans can only win by offering real, lasting solutions to the problems Democrats have created for the American people. Quote, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, let's press on toward the goal. If Republicans come together and focus on the future, we won't just win the next election, we will win a future of freedom for all the American people. So, barely masking it, he's like, hey dog, shut up about the past. No more talk about the past. No more stop the steal nonsense. No more rigged election. No more, oh, January 6th, woe is me. These people are victims. They're being unfairly, pressured by the Democrats and by the courts and by the elites. He's saying, get over it, get over it, get over it, get over it. Now, we covered a story recently. The polls show the sentiment of most Republicans and the overwhelming majority of Americans is, hey, Pence is right. I don't want to hear a goddamn word about January 6th. I don't want to hear a goddamn word about, the election was stolen. Nobody's buying that. I mean, Trump's base buys that. Trump's base. But now his base isn't even the entire Republican base. Again, this is what the numbers bear out. And every time Trump talks, he can't go through a speech without saying the election was rigged. Nobody wants to hear that. No normies want to hear that. He'll have his hardcore ardent supporters who are like cheering him on and salivating, but any normie is super alienated by that language. So Mike Pence is playing to the polls here, so playing to the American people, but also he might be throwing down the gauntlet, man. He's been going around giving some speeches, dipping his toe in the water, feeling it out. There's not only a chance he runs, there's a chance he runs even if Trump runs, because he's already been axed as the VP for 2024. That's already a foregone conclusion. He's done so. Trump's, they're already openly talking about, who his VP will be if he runs again in 2024, which he wants to. He all but admitted it at this point. And Trump's biggest litmus tests are, will you say the election was rigged? And do I have your unending loyalty? That's where he is. That's where he's at. Nothing on policy, nothing on your governing philosophy, strategy. No, it is literally all like me. And so I will say, you can never underestimate Trump. A lot of people did that and were dead wrong. But he is in the weakest position I've ever seen him in to this point, which is so obsessed with January 6th and stop the steal and the rigged election, etc., that he can't do his full populist tap dance that he used to do, which worked in 2016. He didn't really do it in 2020, one of the reasons he lost, and then now he's out there, it's all about him for 2024. He can barely mask it to act like he's, for the people. So I think Pence senses a little bit of weakness, and he's trying to go back to like the Ronald Reagan playbook. But I don't know if he's the one, man. I don't know if he's the one to be able to take out Trump. It's still very likely if Trump runs, he will probably be the nominee on the Republican side. But you can't rule out DeSantis. You can't, and you can't rule out Pence, honestly, either. Because what feels like a layup right now, the political inevitability, becomes not that in the blink of an eye. There was a time when Rudy Giuliani in 2008 was leading the Republican primary polls by 1.5 miles. And then he imploded. Obviously, John McCain ended up winning it then. But my point is, everybody was convinced it was going to be Giuliani. Oh, America's mayor, he guided us through 9/11, he's a Republican, but he's from a Democratic state, which means he could get the crossover votes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nonsense. Hillary Clinton was viewed as inevitable in 2008, and Obama won the primary. Then Hillary was viewed as inevitable in 2016, and she lost to Trump. So in other words, things that feel inevitable in politics are never actually inevitable. They're not. And so same thing with Trump. Oh, Trump definitely going to win. It's possible. And at this moment, it's likely, but starting to see some things shifting. starting to see some things shifting. And Pence is subtweeting Trump here, and this is an issue where Pence actually has almost everybody on his side in the country. So I'm sure Trump will go after him again very soon with some goofy-ass statement, but look, I'm waiting. And boy, would that be a sight to see, wouldn't it? If the 2024 primary includes both Trump and Pence. And the things that they could say to each other. Pence's problem, though, like imagine the debates in that situation. Pence's problem, though, is that he's so scripted as a politician, he can never just keep it real about all the real issues with Trump, etc. Whereas Trump will just say whatever the hell he wants and go vicious, go right for the jugular. So anyway, we're speculating too much now, but you get the point. This is a sign. Pence giving all these speeches, he clearly wants to run. Now he's subtweeting Trump, going after Trump kind of clearly. He may even run even if Trump is in. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.